The country of Tajikistan, which is in Central Asia and it sits right above Afghanistan, recently banned the hijab. And it sounds a little bit crazy, especially considering that Tajikistan is actually 96% Muslim. It's an overwhelmingly Muslim country, but the president of that country, whose name is Emomali Rahman, actually banned the hijab because he considers the hijab to be a foreign culture, an alien culture, and he doesn't want it in his country. Not only that, he also banned Friday prayer, he banned Eid prayer, and he also banned men from growing their beards too long. And he closed thousands of mosques across the country in a crackdown against the religion of Islam. Now, I know he professes to be Muslim. He calls himself Muslim. He's even been filmed inside the Kaaba, visiting Mecca, but he's anything but. And this man has ruled Tajikistan with an iron fist since the 1990s, and he's getting up there in age. He's actually quite old now, but he's grooming his 37-year-old son to take over after he passes away. And his son is no less hostile to Islam as he was. Now, the thing about Emomali Rahman was that he was raised in the Soviet Union. He was educated in the Soviet Union, so he's actually a communist, and he was raised with a communist mindset, which is why he's so hostile to the religion of Islam in the first place. But it's actually quite sad to see a country that's majority Muslim, yet when you go to places like America or Europe, you're actually allowed to wear the hijab for the most part. So what you're telling me is that you can actually practice Islam easier in places like America or Australia rather than practicing Islam in places like Tajikistan or Uzbekistan. And it's not right, but this is the reality of our world. And this is what happens when Muslims neglect politics. If Muslims neglect politics, if Muslims do not participate in the political process or try to get involved, we leave the door open for people who are openly hostile to the religion of Islam, who seize power as a result. We don't want to see that, but this is a reality. This is a harsh reality of our world. And I don't know what to say to the people of Tajikistan. I would encourage the Muslim women to cover up, but then again, maybe they might be assaulted or put in jail as a result. And I mean, the fines are pretty steep. I mean, they're charging you about $700 fine for wearing a hijab. So a lot of people in Tajikistan can't afford that. And a lot of them really can't afford to move either. So it's a very, very, very tough situation. I would encourage everybody to make lots of dua for the people who live in that country. And inshallah, it changes very soon. But this situation cannot continue for very much longer.
Tajikistan, a Muslim-majority country, has passed a new legislation banning the hijab. The controversial ban aims to protect national cultural values and prevent superstition and extremism. Under the newly enacted legislation, individuals wearing hijabs, which the country considers foreign clothing, in addition to other prohibited religious attire, could be fined up to approximately $700, while companies and government officials will face much higher fines. Although the decision is unusual in a country whose population is 98% Muslim, the legislation has been in line with Tajikistan's clampdown on Islamic practices for years. The government first banned the hijab in schools in 2007, then extended the ban to public institutions